Not going to get that championship back by shaking hands, being best friends with the champion. No, I slapped him right in his stupid face. I slid out of the ring, and I let him know my intentions from that point.
He calls me down to the ringside, and we're starting to chat. He's just saying how I'm doing, all that. And then at the very end, he's like, "Hey, you got a match?" I was like, "I'm sorry, what?" He's like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a match." I was like, "That's not normal. Like, why?" And he's like, "You'll be fine. You're gonna do good. You're gonna wrestle Aleister Black. It's gonna be great." I was like, "All right, cool, yeah."
And now, your hosts of the Card Subject to Change podcast, for frequency's sake tag team champions of the world, the Wizard CZ and Never Wrong Nick Gold.
Well, it's the late show. It's the late show tonight. I've always wanted to do that. Welcome to the late show. This is the Card After Hours Card Subject Change podcast, the podcast by the fan for the fan. We are, of course, reviewing WrestleMania Night 1. Just got over with. We still got our tag belts. We're still the tag champs of the network. CZ, how you doing, buddy?
I'm feeling pretty good, Nick. I'm feeling pretty good. If you're watching, may see a little bit different background. We are both broadcasting from the Highview Lounge today.
Yes, we are.
And I just want to take a moment to remind you that we are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo, and of course now protected by Jared Zook Country Financial. It's WrestleMania weekend, baby.
It's WrestleMania weekend, and off camera right now, we have a special guest, Joe the Show Winkle. He joined us on our panel show the other night. He is joining us here as well. He's off camera, but he is, thank God, on the mic. Joe, how you doing?
Hold on. If we're singing, let me get it. Whoa. It's WrestleMania Night 1.
Spare no expense.
I thought that's what you were going to do, honestly.
Oh, I had to give a shout out to Doc Hendricks and that big show music, but I wanted to do it with the late show. But WrestleMania Night 1 just over with, hot off the presses. I guess I'll start with our guest, Joe. What are your overall thoughts on the show, Night 1?
Well, the moments of the night was doing the drinking challenge for every chop in the Gunther Sami Zayn match.
It's true. Joe the Show Winkle took a drink. His drink of choice tonight was Twisted Tea. He took a drink every time a chop was laid by either Sammy or Gunther tonight. And for a while, I thought we were going to have to scrape him off the floor. It was hot and heavy air for a while, the action in that match.
It was something. But no, it was fun. The matches that I thought were matches that I knew going in didn't intrigue me during the night. But outside of that, at the end of the day, it's pro wrestling and hanging out with your boys. It was a blast to hang out and watch it. And the high points on the show were definitely high point worthy.
Sure.
In my opinion.
Sure. CZ, initial thoughts on the show before we start breaking matches down.
You know, that's what it's all about. Like Joe said, is just hanging with your boys, watching some wrestling. If I were to just throw it out there off the top, give it a letter grade, I'm gonna give it a solid C+ on this one. Not my favorite show they've done in the last couple of years, but definitely not a stinker. I had some good moments. I can take 3 matches and say good things about them, and that makes a decent show to me.
Jordan Rangel with a comment here, and I want to ask you guys that before I give you my thoughts. He says Philly crowd was garbage. I kind of was let down by the crowd tonight.
Fucking awful.
What was up with? I mean, they had the biggest show of the year in their backyard. Usually a hot wrestling crowd. Philly, pretty extreme crowd, home of ECW. If you don't know that or not. But it just seemed like they were kind of dead tonight.
So at the beginning of the night, remember I said they need to turn the crowd mics up. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I know no one else really said anything about it. And I wasn't trying to sound like some sort of, expertise or whatever. I thought at the beginning of the night, it felt like the crowd was in it for because you could hear that they were into Rhea.
Rhea and Becky. Yeah, they were chanting for that match. Yes.
And you could hear them when they got loud. Like during the Jimmy and Jay match, which we'll talk about.
Sure.
Maybe not long, but I knew. But when they were chanting Yeet, it was loud. Maybe just because when 40,000, 50, whatever, however many people are there,
70-some thousand.
70, yeah. What am I doing for underselling it? When 70,000 people all chant "Yeet," it's going to sound loud. But you're throughout the most of the night. I was trying to be nice to think that it was just a crowd mic issue, but yeah, you're right. Jordan's bang on, and in our text chat, he was saying the same thing. CZ, the crowd just was not into it.
No, and Stryker, our good friend Stryker, agrees with us here. The crowd was just dead. I don't know. They woke up during the Gunther and Sammy match, but even during the main event, the start of the main event, they were dead too. I thought they were sleeping through most of the show.
You know, maybe it was the 52-degree weather with the 15-mile-per-hour wind and being out in the cold that long. I don't know.
Could have been.
On paper, this Mania night 1 definitely looks better than tomorrow night's Mania night 2. And I'm not poo-pooing on the show, but it just felt a little lackluster at times. I had a great time watching it. I'll probably give it a B-. I really hoped it was going to top last year's WrestleMania Night 1, 39. I don't think it did. 39 Night 1 is one of my all-time favorite Nights of Mania ever.
No, because last year Night 1 you have the Charlotte Rhea match, which was a 5-star. Like that was, you could argue that's one of the best women's matches, maybe the best women's match in Mania history. Yep. And you obviously the Jimmy and Jay versus KO and Sammy tag match was just so full of
phenomenal.
Everything
phenomenal
from start to finish.
Ray and Dom was night 1 last year.
Yeah, that was like a fun.
It was a fun moving parts match. It was great. Was the Gunther?
Yeah, that was
night 2. Still a banger, anyways.
Yeah,
it was Gunther.
But no, night 1 tonight. It had a couple like I said, good moments, good matches, but and you still had your fun moments. Like we were sitting here laughing at everything during the ladder match.
Yes, we were. Yes, we were.
And I thought Rhea Becky was fun. It was a good match. But the middle of the show. So if you have the first 2 matches had some energy, and the last 2 matches had some energy. The middle of the show,
rematch lull there in the middle. Yeah,
kind of kill poor guys and poor bastards. But the brother versus brother beef match definitely killed the energy. Because even during the night, I was saying
let's talk about the elephant in the room. Let's get that match out of the way. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso, brother versus brother, just the 3rd time in Mania history. You had Owen and Brett at 10. You had Jeff and Matt Hardy. We're not counting Undertaker and Kane, though we did earlier in the night.
How dare you?
Right? That is not brother versus brother.
Striker, I'm sorry. We've got to talk about it.
We've got to talk about it.
It's got to be at least brought up.
I know Striker told me at the last SCW Pro show that he was really looking forward to that match, and I think I was looking forward to it too. I was buying into it. I thought there'd be some antics in it, but my goodness, what a crash and burn dud of a match!
So bad.
Let me ask you, gentlemen, this before we get into the meat and potatoes of the matches. You look at this card on paper, were we over expectant of this night of WrestleMania? Because you look at the match lineup for tonight versus tomorrow, and this was supposed to be the hot action, the fast pace, the in-your-face night of WrestleMania. Tomorrow is supposed to be the emotional night of WrestleMania because you've got so much build with the Bayley match, Cody, Seth, and Drew. All of those are going to pull on the heartstrings more than this night. But did we over expect for this night of Mania?
I think we've been so spoiled with how good the product has been. We thought that every match was going to go out there and give it their best possible match. We thought the stars would align. I think we were wishful thinking. Maybe we had expectations too high coming into this, as night 1 definitely looked like the stronger of the 2 over night 2. Maybe night 2 comes out and surprises us tomorrow night. I think it's
good. All the people
performing on the night 2 card have got to be like, this is our chance. This is our chance to go out there and really steal the show and to show night 1 that we were the better night.
Yeah, like the Bayley Io match could very well be incredible.
Yes.
The Logan Paul KO Randy Orton triple threat match has the chance of being just some fun shenanigans. And then the Roman Cody match is going to be a shit show.
It's going to be the ultimate
book. It's going to be a good shit show.
Yes, it will be a good shit show. go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, and what you were saying, like we getting together, and anytime we get together for any kind of pay-per-view, really, with the two biggest shows in town, anytime all these pay-per-views, whether it's the ones that WWE has been having, or we got together for what was the that was Revolution, that was Sting's thing.
Yep.
Like all of them have
Wait,
usually,
who? Who?
What? Who? Sting.
It's
All of these shows that are going on, no matter what, usually these PLEs or these pay-per-views that AW do, like all of them are usually pretty banger with all these great matches, and it's all fun. And tonight, it wasn't a bad night. It was just, we really did feel like tonight would be the best of the two nights, and maybe that's why. Because I don't think we're trying to come on here and be negative.
No, not at all.
No, I mean, we're calling out what we thought was the dud match of the night.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Jim and Jay, and
it was so slow, and
it had the like Jordan says on here, that match had the opportunity to steal the show dud. And I know Jordan is a Jey Uso fan, and I know that he wanted that match to be good. I think we all wanted that match to be good. We all didn't come here tonight and be like, man, I can't wait for that match to stink. Not at all. That match was just the dud of the show, and to me was the low point of the show. The crowd was out of it,
and it came back to, I remember coming on the show after SummerSlam thinking how dumb of an idea that was, how they did it. And tonight was like the full circle culmination of, you shouldn't have had the twins beef. You know what I mean?
Right.
We should have never had that. It should have never been a thing.
I can see why they did it, and I can see why Jimmy won, because it does set up future matches, in my opinion. Jay's got to get his win back. I see that being a trilogy, and maybe they'll improve, but this match just fell flat. Fell on its face.
Well, we've talked enough about that match. Let's talk about the good stuff. They kicked off the night with Rhea and Becky for the women's world heavyweight title. Rhea gets played to the ring by Motionless in White. I thought it was a great entrance. The live band sounded good.
Yes.
Rhea singing along to it.
Awesome.
Shows that she was into it, got the crowd into it. I did like the Becky intro, how they took the excerpts from her book and had her narrate it. And then, even though she did look like the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland.
I didn't notice it until she got to the ring. One of you two was like, she's wearing her book. And I'm like, what?
She was.
Yeah.
And then I look, I'm like, she is wearing her book. No. So I owe you an apology. I think you, Nick, you said the other night that you hope that Rhea gets played out to the ring. And I said, God, I hope not. But I forgot that the band that plays her song now is different than the one that she had end of NXT or her NXT run and her first.
This is my brutality.
Yeah, because she got played out to the ring for the match with Asuka in Tampa, and it was awful.
Agreed.
This was cool.
Yeah.
Like the band tonight was awesome.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. The sound, everything sounded good. Hats off to the production of
my God.
Many of those 4K camera intros they had of Becky and Rhea were awesome. I'm like, guys, are we watching a video game? It looks so freaking cool.
And the fact that we've mentioned this, I'm sure, before, but the fact that it has more of a real live sports feel than just a sports entertainment feel now. I know we can credit certain people who are no longer with the company for that. We're not going to name names unless Joe wants to.
I had that take earlier, how you said this is so much better than 2 night stupendous event.
Listen, they like them coming. They go from the kickoff, and they show the crowd. They come in with the drone shot or whatever it was over the stadium, and it's Michael Cole talking. And you then show them the guys arriving. You see Cody coming in off his bus. You see Seth. You see The Rock showing up. You see Roman. And then they have their intro package, which was great. They always have that. But then they come out and see pyro. Sometimes, if there was pyro, it would have been cool. But they didn't have pyro, and they had Cole talking about the night and showing like how cold it was, and then they it felt like a sporting event, and that's what I love about. It's stuff, I love when pro wrestling feels like an actual sport, and tonight looked like the production of the night at the beginning looked like a UFC show. Weird. It's almost like the company that owned UFC also owned WWE, and they merged.
Right.
I made that joke when I got here. It was so cool. It was so cool. The production of that. Like, think of all the time, like how many different times they had the walkouts tonight where they followed the person through the I know they did it with Sammy, but they did it with somebody else too, where they followed him
back into Gorilla. Yeah.
It's so without our favorite bucktooth British guy, since they got rid of him.
Let's go ahead. Stryker already called him out in the comments. Kevin Dunn is no longer with the company. The production work is just elevated that much.
So much better.
I think Michael Cole's gotten so much better since Kevin Dunn's been gone. I mean,
Well,
props to
Michael
Cole.
Cole's
Outside of
been
looking
better.
like a pilgrim, he did a great job tonight.
Michael Cole's been better since certain someone has left the company and isn't yelling in his ear anymore.
Right.
I'm not going to name that name. You all know who we're talking about.
Yeah,
we don't need to bring his.
If he said his name, we'd probably have to do some sort of satanic ritual.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that here tonight.
Since Michael Cole has lost that, since they got rid of Kevin Dunn, since he hasn't had to worry about JBL saying Maggle all the time, Michael Cole's legit. It's elite. And the commentary trio of him, Graves, and McAfee was exquisite.
They
get
an A+ for me on this show. They did a great job.
They carried the first half of the main event.
They did
because how slow it was.
They did.
Them answering was amazing. It was so good.
It was Cole disgusted with their love for the bloodline. Yes. And I loved it. I think Becky and Rhea went out there and had the best possible match they could. Becky rumored to have strep throat, 102-degree temperature, obviously not feeling her best. I think we all were thinking this could possibly top Becky and Charlotte and Rhea from last year. Hard to top that, possibly the greatest women's match of all time. But nonetheless, a pretty good effort from Becky. Rhea looks like $1 million. The crowd loves her. She's a megastar, top 3 star in this brand or in this company. A year-long reign now. She won the title last year at Mania, and she's kept it for a year. This reign has not grown stale like other reigns have, long reigns. So I don't know what's next for Rhea. But tonight, good for her. She looked great. She looked like $1 million. She's a megastar.
Yes, agreed. Now the question is how long is she going to hold on to it?
I can see.
Who takes it from her?
Who can take it from her at this point? Who can legitimately run with her? Let's narrow it down. Who's on Raw right now, where she holds the title, that can legitimately run?
I have one name, but I guess she's on SmackDown. But I think she'll win the Rumble next year. She hasn't. I don't think she's won it. Has she won it yet? Does Bianca win a Rumble? Yes. She won the. Yes, she won the one in Tampa.
She's won the Rumble.
I think next. So Rhea. So
Charlotte
Bianca
didn't get hurt. We were going to get Bianca Charlotte tonight or tomorrow night. That was going to happen this year. Do we get that in the future? The Bianca Charlotte. Does that happen?
WrestleMania match.
Do we get that next WrestleMania?
I think what you could do is you have Bianca win the night. I know Jade had the pin. But I think you could have, and I kind of teased it yesterday night. I think you have this dominant run of Rhea, who's probably been their best champion, their best women's champion that they've had in a long time. Because the thing is with the women's championships is usually they get bounced around like crazy. And not every championship reign needs to be this 365-day drawn out spectacle, but sometimes you need it.
Yeah.
And to assert a dominant champ. Like for instance, on the other side of that, I think Seth held the world heavyweight title too long, but that's a different story for a different day.
Yeah, I think
but for Rhea,
minutes tonight is what the graphics
for
said.
Rhea, I think if you want to wait till next year and you have Rhea going into Mania as champ and she loses to Rhea went coast to coast to win the Rumble. Bianca, I know she's already won a Rumble and I think she came out at 3, but have her top it and go coast to coast to win the Rumble. And Bianca, who's not lost at Mania, versus Rhea. I said it the other night. That could main event night 2 next year of 41.
Yeah, Bianca Rhea. I like where that would go.
So
it would be sick. It would be.
And I'll call Stryker out again in our comments here. Bianca and Flair, Jade and Rhea, money.
Is Jade ready in a year?
I don't think. Yeah, that's a good question.
Year,
is she ready to be a champion? I don't know. Could be.
In a year, I will say she's ready to be.
I think she's ready in the year. They've handled her with kid gloves so far. They've kind of, weaned her in very slowly. She looked impressive at the Rumble. She looked impressive tonight. We'll talk about that match here in a little bit. But Jade is probably the one to dethrone Rhea if you want to look at it. If you're not talking about Bianca, she looks like $1 million. She's the total package. She can cut a promo. God, she's got the physique to make it look believable to beat Rhea. She's got the size. But I think it's going to take another year. It's not going to happen overnight with Jade.
No, I agree.
I think the only thing that I wish the presentation of her would be a little bit better is if they had her have a mouthpiece.
Jade?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think she could carry herself on the mic, but if she did have a mouthpiece, that'd be even better.
Who would you put with her?
It's a great question. I knew you were going to ask me that. And I mean, I'm always the one, don't think of an idea without giving a solution. But right now, I wouldn't know.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Who's,
We'll leave that out to our audience. If you want to hit us up on social media, you can hit us at CSTC Podcast on all the socials. Who would be a good mouthpiece for Jade Cargill to help her along in her program or in her career in the WWE? Like a Paul Heyman character. I'm not saying Paul, but we're looking for a mouthpiece for Jade Cargill. Who could it be? Hit us up on socials and let us know.
What about an MVP? Is he still with the company? He's been kind of low key for a
I
while.
don't know if he's still with the company or not. I know he was at some WrestleMania appearances this weekend. I don't think with the company, but interacting with WWE stars. I'm not sure if he is or not. So want to let you know you're listening to the Card Subject Change podcast. Card After Hours. We're breaking down WrestleMania Night 1 here. We are powered by Lopez Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan and Allison Tattoo, and protected by Jared Zook of Country Financial. Thank you so much for hopping aboard and joining us here on the Night 1 breakdown. We talked about Rhea and Becky. Let's hop into that ladder match. A lot of fun spots here as you had 6 different teams vying for 2 sets of titles. I love how they had the titles separated. So there was 2 destinations to climb up to.
And that
a lot of fun stuff in this match.
And that instantly, CZ told us right at the beginning of the match that the belts were getting split up, which we were questioning it. And once they showed that the titles were separated like that, we knew, okay, there's two teams are winning.
Yeah, I mean, we knew on Monday when Michael Cole said that both belts had to be retrieved in order to win for the match to end. But yeah, you knew right away when you see the titles hanging on separate rungs, they're split. And you know, I had my picks as to who I wanted to win. Only half of them came through, and that was the Awesome Truth. Kudos to our Truth, who has always told us he's afraid of heights. I'm in that ladder and looking scared shitless at the top.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
He was pissing himself. But, would I have liked to see like a DIY come away and maybe move over to SmackDown with the blue belts? Sure. However, I'm not upset that Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, A-Town Down Under, won the title, because this gives us both a heel team and a face team coming away with title belts. It gives some new life to the tag team division on SmackDown. I'm not upset. I think I don't care for Grayson Waller, but guess what? That's they're doing their job.
They're doing their job. I was a little let down when they won. I was hoping for the New Catch Republic, maybe to take them back to SmackDown, but this sets up something with A-Town Down Under and New Catch Republic going back to SmackDown. So getting that heel team out of the way. We all were here on pins and needles, fingers crossed that R-Truth would have his moment, and he did have a couple moments in this match for sure. If you want to go back and watch, we'll talk about him. A hot tag in a ladder match. We saw it at the Royal Rumble, but seeing a hot tag in a ladder match, crowd seemed to eat that up, and it was a pretty fun moment.
The crowd went for it again. They cheered. They counted when he pinned him. That was funny.
Yes, he went for the pin.
And then Miz had to explain, no, Truth, you got to climb the ladder.
Didn't he pin Finn Balor in the match? I think he pinned Finn Balor.
So good. It was so good. There was a moment, though, because remember the other night, you and I think it was, we were talking about how either he was going to grab both belts and he was going to have his John Cena be his tag partner. But then there was a moment at the end where
Damian Priest
were climbing, and CZ goes out off the top rope. It's like Priest and Archer, they're gonna each grab a title belt. I was like, that would be so funny.
It would have been funny. It would have been really funny if those two were able to coexist as tag champs. CZ, what did you take away? What'd you like? I know you were a little down that DIY didn't win one of the sets of belts. And I understand. I would have seen one of those. I wish they would have won a set of them and taken it to SmackDown, bolster their tag ranks a little bit. But all in all, a pretty fun ladder match with some pretty high spots that did happen.
Absolutely. And everybody seemed really safe despite being up on high ladders and looking crazy. I thought it was a really good and safe match for being the cluster that it was. The only scary moment that I can think of was when that ladder was up under the Raw titles, and it looked like it was about to bend inward and they were going to collapse.
Yes,
Priest smart enough to throw the ladder out of the ring and get a fresh ladder in there. But if that's the scariest moment, in a high-paced ladder match, I say kudos. That was top three matches of them.
Yep. Stryker had that was his match of the night, the ladder match. He's got a question for us. How long do we think each team will hold these titles going forward? I don't think we're going to see mega long runs out of either of these guys. You're not going to see a run like Sammy and Kevin had. You're not going to see a run like Damian Priest and Finn Balor had, in my opinion. They may hold it for a few months or so, but I don't think they'll hold it to match the longevity of the previous two champions.
No, and I don't see them hot-shotting the titles, but I don't see them being lengthy reigns either.
There's a world that exists where R-Truth and Miz probably could lose Monday, right?
I'm trying to think.
I have no idea who it'd be to, but it'd be a world where that exists,
Sure
right?
Sure, they could lose them right back to the Judgment Day, right?
Yeah,
that's very true. Could be.
Very well could be.
With a moment like them, you don't need them to have it forever.
No, they had the big applause, the big moment at WrestleMania.
R-Truth's first win at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not going to hurt him if they lose it 48 hours later.
Correct.
And that's not why R-Truth is there. He's, as much as I hate to say it, as much as I would love for him to somehow come away with the championship when Damian Priest cashes in tomorrow, that'd be hilarious to me.
You know, wait. You know something we don't know? Do you know something we don't know? You saying Damian Priest is cashing in tomorrow?
That's my prediction.
Are the Creeds?
They're on Raw.
They're on Raw. Are they face or heel?
Face.
They're face.
They're face right now.
Yeah, you can't have a face team take it off them in 2 days.
Who is the heel team on Raw other than the Judgment?
Yeah, good point.
Because DIY's not heel.
Awesome Truth isn't heel.
Alpha Academy's not heel.
They might be Monday.
Maybe. Turn the Creed's heel.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm saying Alpha Academy might be heel on Monday.
Could be. They very well could be.
We're gonna have to boo Otis.
Gentlemen, let's take a quick time out and pay dues to our sponsors. Come right back and catch the rest of this card on the other side of the break. Okay.
Thanks for staying up with us late. We'll see you on the other
Football
side.
season may be over, but for frequency's sake, still has you covered for all your sporting needs. Tune in every Sunday when the best professional wrestling podcast around, Cards Subject to Change, gets you caught up on everything inside the ropes. They won't miss a count with weekly analysis and interviews. More into auto racing? We've got a double dose for you on the track. Tune in to Fast Money with Rod Villagomez each week and win some money with the quickest bets in all of sports. Want more insight from Pit Row? Check out the Green, White, and Checkered podcast where they give their insight on everything happening on and off the track. Need your basketball fix? Points in the Paint has you covered with live shows every other week looking at everything in the association. Backed by popular demand, we have the return of The Payoff Pitch, FFSQC's baseball show, covering you on news around the MLB. If you're missing football, don't fret. Mark and Dan still have you covered in the football lounge. Missing Joe Winkle? Probably not, but he's still here talking sports on Educated Ignorance. Football season might be over, but we've still got you covered. For frequency's sake, you know what we mean.
For Frequency's Sake is brought to you by Durham Remodeling, serving the Quad City area's remodeling and repair needs since 1973. Clint's Draft House, grab a bite and a pint. 7th Street Moline. Low Pies, New York-style pizza served up by the slice or pie, Davenport. Lifted Energy, energy drinks, coffee, donuts, and more. #GetLifted. Atomic Sports Cards and Collectibles. Sports cards and memorabilia, vintage clothing, hats, pennants, and more. Ryan Allison Tattoo. Step into the vibrant world of tattoos with Ryan Allison. And A Cut Above, offering quality custom woodwork designed specifically around our customers.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to the show.
There you go. You got it. This is Card After Hours, breaking down WrestleMania Night 1 here on the podcast by the fan, for the fan. We are powered by Low Pies Pizza, built by Durham Remodeling, colored by Ryan Allison Tattoo, and protected by Jared Zook of Country Financial. Thanks so much, Zook. Thank you for coming aboard and joining us here on the For Frequency's Sake Network. We're so glad you're joining us here late at night. We love doing these late night react shows. We need to do more of them. Now we're on to match 3, which we get Rey Mysterio and his new partner of Andrade after Dragon Lee was jumped last night on SmackDown, taking on Dirty Dom and Santos Escobar, which, by the way, I think Santos Escobar is money. He needs to have his group called the Cartel. He looks like a legit cartel drug dealing.
We need to see him. We need to see him slinging some white on SmackDown.
Yes, we do. We do.
Taking some.
So glad, Joe. This is to me where the show kind of went into a lull. Matches 3, 4, and 5. These guys went out there and put on a pretty good match. I think I go back and watch it. I'll probably like it a little better than I did live. I like all 4 guys involved, and I thought they went out there and put on a good match, but it just didn't seem to hold my attention the whole time. Am I wrong in saying that?
I agree. My takeaway from this match, I'm surprised with how it ended. Ray won last year at Mania. I was expecting that Dom and Santos would come away with the win to give Ray and Dom a 1-1 with a rubber match, possibly leading to Rey Mysterio retirement in the future. Just speculation on my part, but I was very surprised that Ray and Andrade walked away with the win on this match for sure.
I thought Santos would get a win, like he'd get the pin. That was my initial thought. But I mean, it's not like the end of the world. But yeah, it's like our level of give a fuck kind of died. The first 2 matches, we care about Rhea.
Yep.
Not that we don't care about Becky, but we care about Rhea because she's awesome.
Everybody loves a good ladder match.
Yeah, we all cared about wanting to see R-Truth have his moment.
We did.
Our boy Ron, shout out to former NWA champion Ron Killings.
Former NWA world champ. That's right, Ron.
Where was Conan tonight to do a rap like 3 Live Crew?
Oh, wouldn't that have been great? He should have wrapped him to the
Yes,
ring.
he should have. And they could have Road Dogg out there too. He's a part of 3 Live Crew.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was.
That's my child. Yeah, that's my childhood, bro. I swear, mid 2000s TNA. And like the last 2 matches, we cared about Gunther and Sammy because Gunther's just goated, and Sammy, everyone loves Sammy. We cared about the main event. Yep. The middle 3 matches is just our level of like wasn't there. But this was fine. The move at the move at the end where they had Homeboy jump off the like middle rope, like the little assist,
shot it out into the aisle.
Yeah,
that was cool.
I don't like though how he was yelling before it. I did not like that. I did not like that. I mean, listen, this chair is for nitpicking, right?
That's right. That's why it's there. We also get Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson doing a run-in with who were those masked men?
I know. We were joking around. Someone said the Good Brothers. I'm like, no, one of them ain't like 9. Like Gallows like 7 feet tall, and Machine Gun Carl Anderson's like a midget compared to him. I love Machine Gun, but he just looks like he's 5'5", and Luke Gallows looks like he's 8 feet tall.
Right.
Together. I was wondering who it was. I know we probably said some funny stuff trying to gauge who it was, but then eventually I was like, oh, I know who it is. But Jason Kelsey like jumped in like over the ropes and stuff.
Agile.
Athlete. And he retired. That man retired a month ago.
No, maybe he's gonna have a future in the wrestling business.
Maybe. A lot of sports ball guys come over from their sports to wrestling.
Yeah.
Sports ball. How dare you?
Hey, I am not a sports guy. I will always admit that. I am a wrestling guy. That is sports entertainment. But
I challenged CZ like 5 times to a 1-on-1 game tonight. Like on.
He ain't gonna. He's not gonna get up. Not during WrestleMania.
Nick's got a like little concrete patch in the back with a hoop. It's like a legitimate hoop, by the way.
Yes,
I
sir.
like grabbed the rim and I was like, "Oh, I could hang on this." If
Yes,
I
sir.
was doing, I'm mad as shit. And I kept saying, "CZ, let's go play 1-on-1." And CZ didn't want the smoke. Just saying, he didn't.
We talked about Jay and Jimmy already. Let's go ahead to the next match: the women's 6-woman tag with the Kabuki Warriors and Dakota Kai, who was channeling Demolition tonight with her ring attire. Dirty Dakota taking on
BAD 2.0, BADD.
BADD 2.0 of Bianca, Naomi, and Jade Cargill. I prefaced this match earlier tonight by thinking this would be the Jade Cargill showcase match, and she looked good here again. She gets the pin. Any takeaways from this match, CZ?
Honestly, I think the reason this one was not there for any of us or the crowd is the build. This happened a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. They it was a very short build and there wasn't enough time to get invested. I mean, okay, sure, Bianca has had her issues with damage control forever, but Naomi just came back. Jade has been seen very little, and it's just there wasn't enough time to get behind her, in my opinion. I think if there had been a little more build, maybe showcase Jade a little bit more, would have been more. Just my.
Who will they have the balls to put Jade in? Not that Jade can't work. We all watched her in EW. She's fine. She's a little clunky, but she's kind of a specialist. She's still raw as shit. Who do they have the nuts to put her in there in a one-on-one match against first? That's what I'm curious.
Trying to think who can work. You know, I think she could go in there and have a decent match with Bayley, but they're both being portrayed as face right now.
Correct.
I think Bayley could work with just about anybody on the women's roster.
Can you imagine how hard-hitting of a match it would be with Bianca? But again, they're both face right now.
I know. What heel could you throw in there with her?
I don't think you can have Bianca because the
You're
first
not gonna
match,
throw her in there with Nia Jax.
the first match you have with Jade, she has to win. You can't have her or you can't have Bianca lose to Jade.
No.
And again, I am also team. Don't book a match if you can't have people to, like win or lose. But Bianca, I think, is on a different plane where she shouldn't be losing to like a rookie.
Right.
I don't know. So
It's a good question.
you give her like Oscar. You give her Oscar or something.
Oscar, I was thinking Oscar.
There you go. There you go.
So
A wizard, Gary.
Asuka,
Take
Kari Sane, one of the two, but probably I would lean toward Asuka. I think Asuka could work with Jade Cargill and it would work.
Yeah. Now and then the next question is going to be: will they put her on a card before SummerSlam?
Well, you got some overseas shows, and maybe they will.
Yeah, that'd be cool. See her in France and Backlash, and so that's in May, and I guess we are in April, so it would only catch
Just
up.
be a few short weeks away.
France Backlash show is the next show, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that'll be fun.
God, I hope they don't call it WrestleMania Backlash that they did it a few years ago.
They
Oh,
didn't
that was
last year.
cringeworthy.
They didn't last year though.
They didn't last year. It was
Right.
2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Let's just call it Backlash. And is what it is.
Backlash has been Backlash lately.
If we don't see it,
Backlash of WrestleMania. You don't need to tag it.
the fact that it was WrestleMania
Right.
Backlash was so dumb. But whatever.
the Royal Rumble before WrestleMania. That's exactly what it is.
WrestleMania, Royal
SummerSlam,
Rumble.
4 months after WrestleMania.
The second biggest show of the year.
Or it'll be like Vengeance. Remember how that was always the show after SummerSlam?
Yes.
Now it's going to be called SummerSlam Vengeance.
SummerSlam Vengeance. I'm fine with that. No. Let's just.
Survivor Series Armageddon. Wait a minute, what?
I think Asuka would be a good person for Jade Cargill to work with.
Sometimes I have good ideas.
After the 6 women match, we get to
Joe's Drunken Venture.
Joe's Drunken Adventure, where he took a drink after.
Oh, you're missing a match.
We skipped it.
We talked
talked
about
We
it.
already
earlier.
skipped it.
Never
We're
mind.
not going to revisit
He's
it.
out here trying to reminisce on the times of the Yeet.
The times of the yeet. No yeet for you.
No
I'll
Yeet.
hang my head in shame.
No Yeet.
Up to this point, we get to what I thought was the match of the night. Up to this point, and that is Sammy versus Gunther. They almost assure the Sammy win when you see the pep talk from his wife and his kid, from Chad Gable, and then the brotherly hug from KO at gorilla position. We thought we were going to lose Joe during this match. He had to take a drink for every chop administered by either opponent in this match.
It's not that I was getting drunk or hammered or anything. It's just I had to after
Couldn't keep up.
I'm drinking these twisted teas, right? Which it's sugary as hell and whatnot. And after like the first 10 chops, I had to burp I've got GERD, bro. I had to burp like crazy. I'm taking deep breaths. I'm like, God, I wish I was serious when I asked y'all to burp me, but you guys wouldn't do it. I'm thinking, someone pat my back, please, for 5 seconds so I can let one out.
I'm going to take this moment to gush on Gunther. I love him. I'm not ashamed to admit it. I've got a man crush on him. I love his arsenal in the ring. I love what he's become, this destructible monster. The crowd was eating up his chops, his power bombs, his drop kicks. I love his offense. It's simple. It's effective. He looks like $1 million. He's a beast. He kicked the shit out of Sami Zayn tonight. We all kind of thought Sami was going to win the match, but Sami got his ass kicked tonight. I love how Sami took him out. I wish
Brain Buster.
Channeling the long forgotten El Generico with the Brain Buster and the Haluva kick. But what a great match between these two. Sammy's tough as Teflon, got his ass kicked and walks out, ending this historic reign of Gunther as the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time, the Ring General.
Do you think that he called up his buddy at the wherever
the Mexican orphanage?
Yeah, did he call up his friend from the orphanage, El Generico, and have him teach him the ways of the turnbuckle brainbuster?
I would say so, yes.
That was sick, dude.
It was sick. If you're going to take out a badass beast like Gunther, that's how you do it.
It was, yes. Yeah, you got to have it be some sort. Like, there was a moment where I was thinking, oh, maybe he should kick out. But now that we're sitting here talking about it, he took a fucking brainbuster on the top rope.
And then a Haluva kick.
And yeah, it was good that he did. Now, it was nice to see that one hit. Not that the one, my favorite match of the year, and again, we talked about who our favorite wrestlers were earlier. Will Ospreay is my favorite wrestler. Sure. He had been for about the last year and a half or so, 2 years or what, or I would say. But my favorite match so far this year has been that match with him and Takeshita at Revolution.
Yes,
and they tried to do the brainbuster turnbuckle there, and it's not that they botched it, but Takeshita kind of missed, and he landed on his back. His back nailed the rope, and he had that nasty bruise on his back.
Yeah.
It was nice to see this version of it hit. Like, it was so clean.
It was so clean. It was so quick. And it was so quick.
I had no idea that was going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, Takeshita, too, like, was sitting on the ropes with his back on the ropes. Like, he was sitting on the ropes in the corner, right? And Takeshita lifted him from the front and dropped him. Sammy looked like he was going to do a superplex and turned in midair to do it. Was so sick and so crisp. That was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Hey, we all talked on Wednesday. We went around the room and asked Sammy the guy to beat him. I don't think a single one of us said yes.
I think we all agreed that Gable was the guy, but Sammy went out there and proved it tonight.
I don't think though we had a problem with it. We just kind of all acknowledged that the wrong guy was in the match.
Yes.
And Striker in the comments just asked how long of a reign are they going to let Sammy have? Let me just say, before the match began, Chad Gable says, "You owe me a favor."
Can I give my hot take?
Monday night.
I don't know if they're going to do the match Monday night, but he is going to go full Perk Angle on him. He is going to channel the juice of his illegitimate dad, and he is go. Remember when Kurt Angle beat the piss out of Eddie Guerrero with his hands cuffed?
Yes.
Sami Zayn ain't going to have his hands cuffed. But Chad Gable is going to murder Sami Zayn in front of everybody on Monday.
It could be as quick as Monday night. If we talk about these tag belts that could get dropped by Monday night, I could see the IC belt getting dropped Monday night.
I don't think they do the match, but I think Gable will be. He'll say, like, Sami will say, "Here, we'll do the match," and they'll set it up for probably the Backlash show in France.
Okay.
And I think like Gable will just like. He'll shake hands and then he'll just lose his mind and he will just murder Sami Zayn and in front of God and everyone on Monday night and just be screaming like it would have been my moment or something.
He snaps. He snaps like Perk Angle would have.
Yes, exactly.
Can I just say that seeing a badass heel Chad Gable, I would buy into that 100%. They tried to be heel with him in the whole shush thing, but the crowd just started loving it every time he did it. So they had to have Alpha Academy be fake.
You replace one badass with a mid-card badass. Gunther didn't lose tonight, guys.
Oh God, no.
Gunther gets elevated to the world title picture now, and I believe he will be a world champion by next year's WrestleMania. If he's not, I'll think of something outlandish to.
I'm gonna hit you with the choppy.
Okay. There you go. Gunther didn't lose tonight. He elevated himself. He looked like $1 million losing, but maybe Chad Gable's going to be the mid-card badass now, and now that Gunther's on to bigger and better things.
Yeah, like to cement the heel turn for Gable, he needs to like call Otis a slob, and he needs to call Maxine like a 2-cent whore or something like that. Something disgusting on Monday. Just be like, I never liked you. You suck at wrestling, Maxine.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go eat a McDonald's cheeseburger. That'd be great.
What's he going to do to Tozawa?
Oh, shit. I don't know. Don't think of
Call him Tajiri. Call him something. Call him.
You're like, who even are you? So irrelevant. People only know you for that stupid ninja thing.
A crowd loved Sammy winning, singing along afterwards. I think everybody popped it for the finish there in Philadelphia. The crowd seemed to be into it for that match. Brought them back from their lull. These two, thank Gunther and Sammy for bringing this crowd back for their match, and of course for the main event of night one. Seth and Cody, Roman and Rock. I think we all felt the same about this. It started really slow, but it picked up, and the action was hot and heavy after that.
Yeah. Can I just preface this match by saying what I said while we were all get together watching this?
Sure.
Cody Rhodes looked like a superhero with the most ridiculous sidekick you could find, and their villain was Michael Cole,
the Pilgrim.
We who was it that said, or no, they were like, or someone was, it was either us or it was the commentary team that was like, Seth's hat is like on his shoulder, and then someone was like,
that's a hat. Seth found himself some outlandish gear tonight. He really nailed it for WrestleMania.
We'll wait to see what he's going to bust out tomorrow.
You know, how is he going to be? That's one thing here. How is he going to be going forth into tomorrow night? That kicks off the show. Is he going to be his jovial self, singing along with the crowd, or is he going to be limping out there from his injuries he sustained in this match tonight?
Are you shocked? CZ, I'll ask you first, and then you can answer.
Sure.
Are you shocked that we got no Drew McIntyre tonight? I know there was no technical ref bump or anything crazy like that, though there were shenanigans. But are you shocked that Drew didn't come out and stick it to him?
No, I'm not. And here's why. I had a friend of mine who I'm watching night 2 with tomorrow text me and say, let's save the overbooking for tomorrow night for night 2.
Great job,
and
friend.
just have this be these 4. And I wholeheartedly agree, and they did it right.
They did.
There was enough shenanigans involved with these 4, and of course with the stuff with the referee. You're right. Tomorrow night's going to be overbooked. Tomorrow night's going to be everything but the kitchen sink in there. And these 4 went out there, and I thought did an excellent job of telling the story. The Rock badgering and bullying the referee, threatening to fire him.
Yeah, if you keep counting, you're fucking fired.
You're fucking fired.
That's great. That was so good. He just straight up also kicked Seth in the nuts
at
one point, and he's making Seth run the ropes while selling the dish.
And the ref goes over to Cody and apologizes.
I'm so sorry.
I love this match. I think we had high expectations for this match coming in. Maybe it didn't start out the way we wanted it to, but the action picked up, and I thought these 4 men did an excellent job of telling the story tonight. I really did. And the crowd seemed to be involved and loved it.
And I think they kind of nailed the ending.
Yes.
They nailed the ending. There were a couple moments, so we kind of all agreed. So going into, honestly, the panel on Wednesday, I had no clue what was going to happen. I thought maybe Seth gets the win because he's been looking so dumb lately because of it.
Well, you went into this match thinking, why book the match if you can't have anybody win?
But again, you guys know me as the proponent of if you feel like you can't have anybody lose, don't make the match. There's nothing wrong with people losing, you know?
Right.
So I had no problem with someone losing. I was just trying to think of what makes the most sense. And then I think it was Regal who said it, who said, Cody loses to Rock. And I'm like, God damn it. Why did I not think of that? Because it made so much sense.
It does.
Because I said it right after that. I said, Cody loses this tonight, and it almost pretty much guarantees he's winning tomorrow night, which is what we all need and what we all want. But tonight, the finish was perfect. They did the callback with the crossroads.
Yep.
And the third one, instead of Cody taking an hour to walk back to the corner,
goes into the ropes.
It was perfect. He like Roman kind of stood up and forced him back. Plus the camera angle helped, and Rock smacks him with the belt.
Yes.
And then Roman spears him, and then the Rock gets the tag, gets the Rock out of it. Was perfect. And they showed, I don't know if we said it or not, but they showed the exact same camera angle of Cody sitting in the ring with his back to the
people celebrating behind him. Yep, yeah. Just at how 39 ended.
The only thing we're missing was the rubber chicken. but this is okay. Like I even see people online not worried. Like there's a guy that I follow who talks wrestling and stuff, and he even said, and he's a huge Cody guy, and last year when he lost, he was devastated. But he even said, like, that was the right finish. And it was the right finish. And I'm mad that I'm mad that it took me until we were on the panel on Wednesday to realize that this was the right finish because technically Cody, the callback was perfect. He was gonna win. he was going to hit the 3 crossroads on Roman and win, but but the numbers game was too much.
Yep.
And I think it's going to tie into it again tomorrow because Cody gains back losing tonight by winning the title and ending the longest reign of our lifetime ever tomorrow night.
In a race this last year.
Exactly.
People are going to forget how 39 ended as soon as Cody wins tomorrow night. They're all going to be happy, and I'm fine with it. Hey, if Cody wins, I'm happy for him. He deserves it.
Yep.
If Cody loses, get me some popcorn. I'm here to watch the internet melt because it will melt tomorrow night.
I will be upset because I will just be like, as a fan, I will be like, it's like you're losing return on your investment. It's like, why? What are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what's the point of getting behind these people and actually having organic baby faces who are so over? Even after last year and the way he lost, it made him look like a doofus last year. And then the whole Brock stuff at times, too, made him look like a doofus. But for everyone to still be so over for this guy, and we should be like, he's awesome. If they had him lose again, it would just be so bad. But I'm not worried about it at all. I think tonight confirms he's winning tomorrow. There was a couple times.
I'm even going to go out here and say, if he loses, you may as well just get him off the roster. Because how are people going to buy that and believe it again?
Why'd you re-sign him if you wanted? Why re-sign him if you wanted to have him lose it or keep doing this, you know? Because at one point, if say he lost again and then they just had him, which again, I don't think any of us think he's losing tomorrow, but like have him lose again, it'd be pointless to be like, because then the eventual win will actually be like, well, what's the point?
Exactly. If that happens if he loses tomorrow night. When he eventually wins, no one's going to give a shit.
Yes.
No one's going to give a shit.
If he loses tomorrow, you might as well have him carrying the golden shovel to the fucking ring with him.
Yes.
WrestleMania 10, underdog wins. Hitman over Yoko. WrestleMania 20, Benoit underdog
Captain
wins.
Redacted wins.
30, underdog wins.
Yes.
WrestleMania 40, the underdog's going to win.
Yeah, and there were a couple moments tonight that we kind of were talking like, oh, maybe like just because there were moments where we didn't really know where the match was going, even though we had an idea. This was kind of what we expected to happen, right? But there were a couple moments tonight where we were like, I mean, hell, talk about a way to put a guy over would be for Cody to pin The Rock one night and pin Roman the next. But Cody's going to. We all think that but this was the right way to do it tonight. The last 15, 20 minutes of that match were superb.
Yes.
You had Seth doing crazy shit.
Seth's spot where he dives and protects Cody from the spear, and Roman spears Rock. Oh, that was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
You have Rock. I love. This is why I'm so. I was at first. Again, we talked about it. The evolution. I was so sad that The Rock was back at first because I thought he was sticking his nose in here. But he's so bought into all this. Motherfucker took a bump through the announce table tonight.
Yes.
Motherfucker is selling like a maniac.
Only got a main event WrestleMania in 4 different decades.
Yeah,
That's
him and the
nuts.
Undertaker. That was wild. And now I think too, you can do Rock and Cody at SummerSlam.
Oh, they sure as hell teased it tonight, did they not?
Yeah.
With how he did the throat slash, boom, people's elbow, 1, 2, 3. He can hold it. Let's say Cody wins tomorrow night. Rock can tell Roman, hey, I beat him, but you couldn't.
Yeah, we said that earlier. Like Rock can be like, hey, I beat him, but you couldn't.
And I don't remember if we said it on the panel show. I know we've said it in passing outside off the air, but you don't talk about bloodline rules for 2 months and not have the fucking match.
Yes.
You don't talk about it and not show
Right.
bloodline rules.
Yeah, one of y'all said basically it's like I think Rod said it.
But you don't show the gun if you're not going to use the gun.
Exactly.
Right.
Again, I can't believe I'd ever put 2 and 2 together on that one. But yeah, man, like it was the way that the match was great. The ending of it was slow at first, but it is what it is. And the finish was fun. And tomorrow night it's going to be.
I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised tomorrow night. I think tomorrow night's card is going to overperform. I'm going to say that right now. I think there's going to be some moments. I think there's going to be some matches that are going to overperform than what they should. Go around the room here. What do you think? What match is going to steal the show tomorrow night? Can't say the main event.
Can't say main event. I'll say Bailey and Io.
Okay.
I think that match will bang. I think Io's
exactly
awesome.
What I was going to say, but just for difference's sake, I think we're going to see a hell of a match in that triple threat: Logan Paul, Randy Orton, and Kevin Owens.
Do you think there's any chance Logan loses?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
I don't either. But
Prime sponsor.
Yeah.
The Prime replenishing station that got taken out a couple times tonight. I'm going to go with Styles and LA Knight. They started a little tussle at WWE World yesterday. And hey, tell me the last bad AJ Styles match you saw.
Can't think of it.
You can't think of it. And LA Knight's going to go out there, his first Mania. He wants to, make a name for himself, become a bigger star than he already is. That's what I think. But I think tomorrow night is going to pleasantly surprise us, top to bottom.
I agree.
And pick up the slack where one laid it down.
Yeah, it's not that tonight was awful. It's just
tonight was fun. Tonight was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
There wasn't really a moment tonight where you would look at the people who come after the match, and those people are saying, "I have to call it that." They're really didn't happen. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Right. Yes.
Right. Because you knew after that Sammy brainbuster Helluva kick spot, you were still going to get something big in the main event between Rock and Roman, Cody, and Seth.
Yeah, it's like its own world almost. The main event stuff with the Cody and Roman and Rock stuff, it feels like it's in its own universe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Tomorrow, I really do think that I think the Seth Drew match could be a little disappointing because they might try to tie too much of the knee injury, which they have to, obviously. But it might be a little bit weird with Punk out there. I don't know. I'm worried that might be a little bit too, quote unquote, overbooky for what it needs to be. But outside of that, I think tomorrow should be. I'm not thinking that the match is going to suck or anything. But I do think there's going to be. There's probably a better chance of tomorrow shocking us in the value of it compared to, if that makes sense, like than what we originally felt. So I'm excited. It'll be fun. And at the end of the night, that match is going to be. It's going to be wild. That'll be a fun drinking game. Take a drink for every time someone runs in, or finish your drink for every surprise old head to come back.
Yes.
And
shotgun a bottle of Everclear when Stone Cold shows up.
Oh.
And I think tomorrow is going to be one of those nights where you're just going to have people trying to top it. You're going to see that mentality of, oh my God, I have those guys. And then they go out. It's just going to bring the best out of every single person tomorrow night. You're starting with Seth and Drew. Do we see a Damien cash in?
God, I think now's the time to do it. He's hurt.
Yeah, because again, you could have Drew just win it off of him like in a month.
Or a Clash at the Castle.
We're booking when is that show? I'm curious.
Clash at the Castle's in June.
Oh, okay. There you go. You could, man, we're booking the hell out of Monday night. Because I was gonna say you could have Drew beat the brakes off Damien on that Monday too. So maybe there's still. Maybe I should just book Monday night off to Raw, honestly.
That's fine.
But,
that's fine.
No, Drew, the Damien cash would be cool because again, if Drew, we're running out of time because Drew's not going to probably hold it forever, but it's going to go from unless they go from if it's in May and Punk is ready for May. If Punk is somehow able to be back in 5 months,
what if Punk costs Drew the match during the cash in?
Oh, like Damien cashes in and Punk knocks Drew out and then Damien beats Seth.
Yes.
That's a good. I like that. I never thought of that.
Because you got that feud when Punk gets back. It's going to be Punk and Drew.
And then you can have Drew be pissed and beat Priest for the title, and then when Punk comes back, you have Punk and Drew.
And here's the thing: I think Drew is going to end up with the title one way or another very soon, whether it's tomorrow night,
absolutely,
or in the next few weeks or the next month.
Yep.
I think how long Drew holds the title is going to depend on how the crowd reacts, because you got to remember last time he held the world championship was during the COVID era.
And he was face.
He was face.
Yep.
So there was no crowd. There was no crowd in the building to support him. He was over, and it worked, and he carried the pandemic era of wrestling in the WWE. But
he entered 37 as champion and dropped it to Lashley in the opening match.
No, he was challenger because remember, Miz beat him with the briefcase.
That's right.
And then Lashley beat the brakes off Miz.
Right. My bad. Good call.
So
he has never been the champion in front of a crowd. So this would kind of be his comeuppance, his reward for being the champ during COVID. Fully understanding. He's on the hottest run of his career right now he's a pretty good heel.
He plays up the dickhead that can kick
And you
your
know
ass.
he's gonna be taunting Punk when Punk's at ringside tomorrow. So God,
Do you think he comes out in a CM Punk shirt? It'd be good.
it'd be good.
It'd be cool
It
if he
would be
did.
really cool. It would be really cool. I just think tomorrow night. I mean, God, I can't believe I'm going to say this because it could really fall flat on my face. But I think like the Final Testament and the Pride could go out there and have a banger of a match. I really could like the
Is it like a street fight type
Philly
of deal?
Street Fight.
I hope
could be a
you're
little
right, because
plunder
that's
match.
when I'm planning on going to the bathroom.
Oh, that's your piss break match, huh?
Prove me wrong.
Is that your piss break match tomorrow night? The Pride versus the Final Testament.
Yes. If I had to pick one, it'd be that one.
Yeah, probably mine too. But I have a feeling. I mean, these guys. I don't know. I just have a feeling tomorrow night's gonna be special. I'm like, they're gonna. Each
Should
match is
be.
gonna top the next one.
Someone needs to challenge the crowd. Someone needs to go on. Someone during this press conference needs to say, "Hey, yo, Philly crowd, y'all suck ass." Or maybe The Rock said it. Like the crowd, the millions, y'all were bitches tonight. Y'all need to be better. And then tomorrow night they're out there like at their booing Santa-ist most.
Yes, I was
All right.
expecting a more rowdy Philly crowd. I guess I was. Maybe that's why I was let down about this show. I love this show. Don't get me wrong. I had a great time watching it. I love the main event. I love Sammy and Gunther. Love the ladder match. Thought the opener was solid. The crowd was not what they should have been.
And being in Philly, being in the backyard of ECW, and those fans of ECW being just absolutely rabid back in the day, you would expect a better crowd
Yes.
in Philly.
Yes. I agree.
And maybe they'll prove us wrong tomorrow. Hopefully they will.
I hope.
Hopefully they will show up tomorrow and be that much better. This crowd.
Well, we're not dead. We hope you're not dead. Thank you for sticking with us here on Card After Hours. We want to thank our special guest, Joe the Show Winkle from the Educated Ignorance Podcast, for sticking around and staying with us tonight. Had a lot of fun.
This is awesome, man. Like doing these in person. I haven't been able to have one where I'm in person with someone to do these for a while, and it's always better to have. It's a lot more free flowing. It's more fun. You get to make more jokes and talk more shit about stuff. But no, this was a blast, and tomorrow should be fun as well. God love professional wrestling.
God, I love it. It's great. It's great.
And I'm not poo-pooing on any of our other shows, Nick, but the panel show Wednesday, this show now being face to face,
Yep,
just has been really fun. And that's not to take away of any. We've had some really good episodes in our 113.
Had a lot of fun doing this podcast, but these last couple shows have been real fun.
The panel, I do want to say too, not as not an outsider, but just from like what you guys talked about on Wednesday. We, the three of us have our own little group chat and stuff, and you mentioned it. Panel was fun. That was awesome. All of us giving our stuff and whatnot, and being a part of the network here. What you guys do is great, and the stuff that you guys take part in, and it's so much fun, man. To do all this, and I've loved the friendship that we've kind of all had. I mean, we knew each other before, and then the way we've kind of ran into each other is fun and stuff. So, man, this was a blast, and this show was fun. I'm glad I got to stay after and hang out with you all and be a part of it. And
we need you to sober up before you went home.
I was fine. If anything, I was.
And I wish we should have had a cam on you during that match, man. You were having a.
That's literally the thing. I had to burp like crazy.
You did.
Like halfway through the match, like because of all the chops that Sammy was hitting, I like felt like I just had this huge blurb of like air from my throat to my stomach.
You felt like you got chopped yourself.
I'm so uncomfortable right now.
You were also very animated because your arm flailed over to Nick. I lost count of how many times.
Yes, it was fun, and that was a blast. If anything, because it was Twisted Teas, it's not more me being drunk. It was probably more being like an 8-year-old, after I drank 2 sodas at dinner or something. So I was just up, like I was punch drunk, not actual drunk, just bouncing off the walls.
Gonna end on this note here. Stryker said it best. Stryker, thanks for sticking up with us. Card After Hours, late night. It's the late show. Professional wrestling is family. It really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is. And I feel sorry for all the people out there that don't see it the way we do, that don't embrace professional wrestling we do, because it's one big family.
Tribalism sucks.
Tribalism sucks, man. Love it all. Love it all. I really do.
Oh yeah, man. That's especially what this weekend's about.
Yeah.
Especially what this weekend's about.
Yep.
You have yeah, there's good shows and there's bad shows. And I know you were saying there was a show you were watching the other night that wasn't fun, but like ROH last night, like Mark freaking Briscoe won the ROH title.
Yeah, props to Mark Briscoe, winning it
Well,
11
like-
years to the day after his brother first won the ROH title.
Like,
How
that's
cool
cool
is
as
that?
shit.
Awesome.
We have all these cool moments on this weekend, especially, but just wrestling in general, man. It's just,
Yes.
yeah, it's so much fun, and people are way too serious about stuff, and wrestling's just a great like way to escape from life sometimes. And
I will say this, and I will close this out. Support indie wrestling, support indie wrestlers, support your family in the wrestling world, support wrestling podcast. Hashtag all of them. I'm going to close things out for us for Joe the Show Winkle, our special guest.
yes, sir.
My tag team partner, as always, never wrong, Nick Bull. I am the Wizard CZ. We will be back with one more WrestleMania show on Tuesday. We'll be joined by Brandon the Shank Eubanks. That's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And then we'll kick off April, the rest of April here, talk about that next Tuesday. But you guys have a great rest of your WrestleMania weekend. Enjoy night 2. Enjoy the Monday after Mania, because these are going to be wild, and I expect things are going to get blown out of the water in the next 48 hours. We'll see you Tuesday at 7. Have a good rest.